Hey everyone, welcome back to Tropical Designs. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you find value and inspiration in today's video to create your own unique resin art. If you're not quite ready to dive into your own projects, don't worry. You can still bring home beautiful handmade creations by visiting my e-commerce website, eBay store, or Etsy shop. All the links are in the description below. And if you enjoy the content, please like, share, and subscribe to help me grow and reach more audience like you. Thank you for watching, and let's get started. Hello everybody. In this video, I'm gonna be putting together the box that I made for these dominoes. These dominoes I made a few days ago, and they are Puerto Rican-themed. This is my heritage, and I was very excited to be able to make some dominoes for the first time Puerto Rican-themed. So now I'm going to put together the box, the matching box that matches these two different colors. For this I use red mica powder, blue mica powder, but I also added some red glitter and some blue glitter as well to make them like sparkly shiny like that. These dominoes are made using this mold, and this mold is considered a jumbo size domino, and this is the most frequent that you guys see on social media. These are good because the dominoes in here are thicker and slightly bit bigger than the little square ones, because dominoes actually have many different sizes, just in case you didn't know that. That's actually something that I learned myself a few months ago. So for these panels, what I use was this mold. This is the mold that most people use. I think it's the most common. And what I have found that works very good with these molds is that you do not want to do any doming whatsoever. You want to make these panels very, very thin, okay? Because if you make something that is a little bit doming, they will not fit together, okay? Because they have these little grooves in here, which the panels, the other panels, the bottom and the lid need to fit and be able to move, okay? And if you make them too thick, then it will not fit perfectly, okay? So I'll be showing you how I made these, and actually not how I made them, but how I put together the box. Especially because I made these panels very, very thin. I had to like sand them off because it was very like the edges were very sharp. So I needed to sand them. I don't know if you're able to see where I have sanded them, but what I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to be using this product. It's high gloss varnish, and I'm gonna very gently go around here with this little paintbrush that I have, right? And I'm gonna be dipping and going around so that these areas that now look dull because I have sanded them, they're gonna like look shinier again, and it's gonna look like pretty much nothing happened, right? So let me give you an overview of the panels, right? So these are going to be side panels, and these you can see that this have two grooves, and I have two of these, okay? Then there are 2 of the little ones. Okay. And then there are 2 of these like bigger ones that have like a different shape, and these don't have the groove. One is going to be for the bottom of the box, and the other one is going to be on the top. Okay. Okay, and in case you're wondering if these jumbo size dominoes actually fit on this box, they do fit. Let me tell you, they only fit in one specific way. It's not, they're gonna be very tight, but when I finish the box, I'm gonna show you what is the position where, how you need to like accommodate these jumbo size so that they can fit in this box. Okay, so I'm gonna be using this little paint tray. I got these off from Dollar Tree. They came like in a 6 packet, like 6 together for $1.25, I think it was. Very cheap. You know how Dollar Tree stuff is. But it's very useful. They're resistant. You can wash them off and clean them off and keep using it as many times as you see fit. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I have to shake this off a little bit, and I'm gonna put like a dollop or 2. Don't do too much because this dries pretty quickly, and then you don't want to waste your product. So I need to get myself a new paintbrush because this one is very, very bad. Actually, I think I'm gonna use a different one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to use this one because that one, I don't know, I guess it had resin on it or something. Anyway, so I hope you can see, right, how I just dipped the tip of my paintbrush, and then I'm gonna just go, oh wait, no, this is not gonna work out. There's like a little extra thingy in here, like a little thread that has gotten out of place, and I don't want that. Okay, so going back to what I was telling you, I dipped and cleaned a little bit the excess from the tip, and then I just go around the border that I had sanded, and hopefully you can see compared to this one that is dull, you see how this one is like back to the original color. You can still see a little bit of that varnish on the edge, but I think it's worth having that little excess in there rather than this like scratchy ending in here. Okay. And this is what I'm going to be doing all around these panels. Okay. And in case you're wondering what I use to sand these, I got this little sander tool. We got these off of Walmart, and then I have the sanding tip. It comes with a bit different tips. You just have to experiment to see which one do you want the best, depending on your product, or of course depending on the product that you want to like sand, you might need to use different ones. But they come from like very coarse to very how should I call that, to not so strong. The sanding is what I mean. This doesn't leave the surface as too rough is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm gonna do that for each and every one of these, like I said. Okay, so let me go ahead and stop for now, and that way you're not bored just watching me doing this part. Okay, so I'm done going around each of the borders, and the little excess that I have over here, I'm gonna put it back in the bottle because I didn't use every single drop of it. And this bottle is like 8 ounces. It costs like $12, but it lasts a lot. And if you're just wondering, well, do I really need to do that part? Well, the answer will be no, absolutely not. This is going the extra mile. If you're doing this for yourself, I would say no, you don't need to, unless you want your product to look very nicely. But if you are doing this for a client, you're building these products to sell them for a client, then of course you will go the extra mile, because it adds to the overall look of the product and it looks more professional. It looks like you did an awesome job. Okay, so to glue these panels together, I'm gonna be using my E6000, which is very good paint. I like it because it glues very well. This is what most resin artists use, and the good thing about it is that if you make a mess and make a mistake, then it's very easy to come off with alcohol. Okay, so this is one of the panels that I'm gonna use for the bottom. Usually these boxes are designed so that it opens in the bottom and on the top, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to be gluing the bottom part. Okay, so I'm gonna use this one, and you know which one is it because it has this specific shape, whereas the side panels are the ones that are long and have the 2 grooves. So the way that I'm gonna put them together, right, you pretty much don't need anything to hold them in place, because if you put them in the right way, they will hold together. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to use this as your guide. This little panel, side panel, you want to use it as your guide. And why do I say that? Because this is going to be flush in here and flush in this area. Okay, so when you put it like this, you see it's not glued, but it stays in place by itself because of the fact that it's resting on the groove, right? But you don't want to glue this all the way to the end, because then you don't have a space for the panel. So what you're gonna do is put this first little panel is going to be flush with this one, and flush inside, resting in there. Okay, so don't do it on the side, do it on top of the other panel. So just to recap, this right now that is standing up is going to be my bottom. Okay, just so that I can keep it in place and it's easier for me to glue. Sorry, it's easy for me to glue. I'm just gonna put it on the side. Okay, and then this is when you see I'm gonna glue the first part. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna glue the first part together. So in this case, I'm gonna use the small panel that has the grooves and match it here. Okay, so just so that since these two stay in place together better, I'm gonna remove it, and then I'm going to be adding glue to this side. I'm gonna be using, I feel that the easiest way that I have found is using a toothpick, because that way I can kind of like push that glue inside that groove. don't worry too much if you like have excess glue, because after it dries, like I was telling you, it's easy to clean the excess areas with a little bit of alcohol, so it's no big deal. So just to make sure that everything stays in place, we'll be adding the glue all around this groove. Okay, you don't want to go all the way to the end, because remember, this panel okay, what I'm gonna do is, hopefully you can see well in there. Remember, this groove is what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna make it flush with this other panel. So right now I'm gonna put glue in this side so that when I'm putting it in here, it sticks together. Okay. And for this specific panel, I'm also going to be putting glue inside of that groove, because remember, I want to make this box to where only the top opens, not the top and bottom. And if you start getting these hair likes, glue, just like move it around, and you'll be able to like pick them up and control them. Okay. So now, remember, this is the top, the bottom, I'm sorry, the bottom panel. It already has the glue in there. I'm just going to make it rest in there. And actually, I was wrong. This side, I want to go all the way to the end. Sorry for that. So yeah, I want to put glue all the way to the end. Okay. So put it in there. Okay. Gonna put this other panel. I'm gonna turn it around to make sure that this is flushed. I don't want this panel hanging around or not being in place. Hopefully you can see it from there. Okay, so you see there's not, I don't even need to like find anything to hold it in place, because the box itself is gonna hold in place. Okay, before I continue, I'm just gonna give it a time to rest, because I don't want things going sideways for me doing too much at one time. But about 45 minutes, this should be dry and ready to go to work with the other side. Okay, let me get my camera. Okay, how this, make sure that all of this is like flushed. You don't want nothing like touching different sides. And yes, this one, there's gonna be a little lip in there, and the lip is the for the other panel that's gonna rest on top. Okay, so okay, so about 45 minutes have passed, and now this is pretty solid. And what I'm gonna do next is that I'm gonna flip it, and now I'm going to use this other panel that has the groove, and I'm going to pretty much do the same with this one. Okay, so I'll be putting glue in this area and in the groove so that I can glue these two together. Okay. Sure, like I did before, that these two are lining up very nice. And this is what I mean. And if you want to, you can lay it on this side so that it does add a little bit of pressure. The same box is the other side of the box is what I mean, is resting in here so that It allows for it to stay in place and also to have that little extra weight. And we're going to be almost done in here very soon. This other panel eventually, if you want to go ahead and do it now, I actually guess I'm gonna do it now. So I will have to add glue on this side and on this side as well, and then this one is gonna be resting in here, okay? Because what's gonna happen, let me see if I don't mess this up, the other lid, the top lid is gonna come through these grooves and it's gonna rest over here at the end. Okay, so let me go ahead and take care of that now, and that's pretty much it. After this there will be no more gluing actually, and the box will be ready. I like to let it rest until the next day, so that that glue is hardened enough. And that way, if I want to work with cleaning any excess glue, I will not mess up my box, if that makes sense. But you do you, right? If you decide to do this box, then you do what feels best for you, right? But I like to let it kind of like glue together enough time before I start messing things up. Make sure that the groove is facing up. This will be in the inside. And definitely this is something that you want to do first before the other panel dries up, because then you don't have the flexibility to put it together. Just making sure that these top panels align. On the bottom, I also want to make sure that it aligns, that it's squared up. And as you can see, there's some excess glue, but I'll take care of that later on. Right now, that's not important. And I could have, let me do that. I could have added glue to the bottom also to make it more secure. Let me go ahead and do that now. So I'm hoping this makes sense to you. I've seen a bunch of videos, and to be honest with you, it took me a little while to figure out how to put this box together. They don't come with instructions. At least I got my mold off of Amazon, and from the listing that I bought it from, it didn't have instructions or anything on how to put it together. So it took me a little bit, but I was able to figure it out, and it's pretty simple. Remember, what you want to make sure is that you do not overfill. You see, and the box has pretty much come together. Okay. So I'm just gonna let it rest again for 45 minutes to an hour, and I can even show you right now without even waiting. You see how if you don't overfill your box, it will go in very nicely. Okay, but I'm just gonna leave it alone to let the stuff get dried, and that's pretty much it, my friends. And like I said, I'm gonna let it dry and settle, and then the next portion I'm going to be showing you how to fix those jumbo size dominoes in these cute little boxes. so here is the box. The glue is pretty dried up. And as I promised, I want to show you how you can fit those jumbo size dominoes in here. Okay. So sometimes even with if you have nails, you can get that excess glue out. But if that does not work for you, a little bit of glue, a little bit of alcohol will get the glue off of it. Okay, but this is not that bad. So in this case, I think I'm good with just like trying to get it off with my nails. So it's not that bad really. Okay, so it looks pretty good. What do you guys think? There's some hair-like inside, but again, it's so easy to get off with your finger, with your nails. I think this box came out pretty cute. I use exactly the same colors that I use for the dominoes, like I mentioned before, and I think it will be very nice because I do appreciate having a set of dominoes with a matching box, especially if they are personalized like this. I was at the beginning that when I started making dominoes, I was like wondering, where am I gonna fit these dominoes in? I looked for different boxes and they didn't fit, and then there is an option of a bigger box, resin box mold, that a lot of people I see in YouTube using, but the problem with that is that I feel that it's too big, it's too much resin, and then when you add up the cost, like, it does make it harder for you to sell if you're making these products to sell, when it is so much more resin that you're using. I'm hoping that makes sense. So I promised you that I was going to show you, but before I put the dominoes in, let me show you again how easy it is to slide this this lid on. Okay, you see? And I don't know, what do you guys think? Leave me some comments. Do you think it's a good color? Like, what do you think? Okay, if you were like in the same situation like me, struggling to find a good box that you can make yourself and personalize for your clients, again, this is very easy to make. Just remember that you do not want to overfill, or actually I will say underfill it a little bit. That will be much better. I'll probably like make another video for my next set of dominoes where I can show you exactly how I pour, and that will give you a better idea of what is the amount of resin that I'm telling you about, because you do not want to overfill, because if not, they will not fit. Okay, so enough with that, right? Because I've repeated myself enough. Let me show you how you're gonna fit these in this box. Okay, so what I was telling you guys about the different size, this size is the standard size. It's called standard, and like I mentioned before, the size is called the jumbo size, and I'm gonna put them side to side so that you can compare and see the difference. So you see the thickness of the jumbo. Let me show you with this ruler, you'll be able to see it much better. I think this measurement is good. Okay, so you see that, like, so you can see the size in there. Hopefully you can see how big that is. So we're about that third line. when you see, and I did this domed, okay, a little bit domed, so you can see how much thinner these are, okay. And the size of them, you see how it's a little smaller, okay. Not only smaller, but they're a little shorter and skinnier, if you will, okay. So these will fit in these boxes anytime. I actually, when I bought the mold for these box, it came together as a combo with the actually, let me actually get the box and show you. Not the box of molds. Okay, so what I was saying is that when I bought this mold that I showed you at the beginning, which I make the panels for the box with, it came in a combo with a mold like this. This one is actually different because I messed up the other one. So these came together, but it's exactly the same. They came together, and if you compare this mold with this one, you see how much more thicker and like chunkier they are. And it took me a little while to figure out what is happening, because these don't feel like the type of mold of dominoes. When I made these first, these were my very first try, I felt like, this does not feel like the typical domino that I'm used to, because dominoes in Puerto Rico is a big thing, right? So they felt like baby dominoes, which there's nothing wrong with them. They're cute and the size is good. However, it didn't feel like the normal ones. So then I started like investigating, and I found out that there are many different sizes of dominoes, like I mentioned before. Actually, there are other size that is called tournament, and it's like a little bit bigger than this jumbo size. Okay, so what happened? I decided to go with the jumbo, and then I was like, oh, they don't fit in this box. And I was like, what? I do not want to sell a personalized domino with a box that don't fit or match, or that I cannot personalize, and then I have to buy these like sticker maker things and like spend more money that I don't want to, where I can actually make a box that is similar in color and in design that would be much better. So this is the full set, right? And this other one, there are 28 pieces. So what you're gonna do to fit these, you're going to stack them up this way, okay? If you stack them up in a different way, trust me, I tried. If you know any other way, I will greatly appreciate you share it with me. So you see how they fill that area completely? But they not, all of them don't fit like this, okay? So that's the trick. So I have 3 rows like this. This next row, they're gonna go facing up, and they're not gonna be touching. And then these last ones, and in here, this one fits, it fits, but you have to like make sure that they're not touching. So you see, now they fit perfectly in there. All right, and then you put your lid on, and voila, matching box with your dominoes. So I hope you can get a lot of value from this, because I do know that a lot of people struggle like me to find like what is a good box for my jumbo size, because not everybody, these are cute like I mentioned, but not everybody wants to use that size. The other people prefer, and plus it gives you more space to be more creative, to add shells, to add other things that you don't have the real estate, so to speak, in this ones. Okay, so that is something that I hope you get a lot of value from. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's project. Don't forget that you can check out the links in the description if you would like to buy my resin art creations. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with all my latest videos. Your support means the world to me. Until next time, happy crafting.